Man, gonna throw my hat into the dead horse ring. A data center. I know two things about data centers. I know shit and Shinola. I know for a fact data centers have gotten my friends paid. A couple of them that had people that did cable installations, cable repairs, private contractors. Their skills along with their network stuff and their IT training translated well. If they were willing to travel, they were able to double and triple their salary. What these facilities do, I can only surmise from what the news tells me. I don't understand. There's a lot that I don't understand, and I could easily Google it or easily DuckDuckGo it and probably get some sort of a cultivated response. But maybe piggybacking off of Savage, you got county commissions, city commissions, signing off on these construction entities. Even if they aren't getting the big payola, they are getting the significant industrial influx of money. You know, you have impact fees, permit fees, all that stuff. And the person selling the land, they get paid off. And maybe in my imaginary scenario here, and forgive me, Savage, if this is something you mentioned, another little piece of farmland or pasture gets lost to one of these facilities. I can't wrap my head around the water usage. I do completely understand the power usage. If my experience is any indicator of it, in another life, this would have been before I got on YouTube. So, been on YouTube. Oh fuck! This year actually makes. I was thinking about this. This year actually makes. I think 20 years that I've been on YouTube. The Lambdog 76 being the second channel, but 2006. Fucking rubbing shoulders with Dax Flame and Kicked in the Balls 5000 and iJustine. But that's not what we're talking about here. I was into computers, building them, overclocking them. Very, very fun, very exciting. My daughter was freshly born back then, so we were talking. I had to convert to indoor sports, putting the wife through school, all throughout that. All the while, friends were flipping houses. I was supporting my wife going through school, but again, I'm indoors. So part of this overclocking is your computer generates a lot of heat. It requires a lot of power. So, you know, you take something like one of my computers. It ended up, I think the amperage for one of these systems pulled more than a refrigerator. And that's not counting the cooling system. The cooling system itself was probably like another refrigerator. So a tiny home PC, souped up home PC, which honestly doesn't light a candle probably to my fucking iPhone that's in my pocket or that I'm talking to on here, use that much power, that much energy. And that was around the time of I was there for the advent of single core to dual core. AMD took the lead, and that's a conversation maybe for another time if it even fucking matters. But my point, the cooling system, water cooled, going through the CPU and going through the GPU, the water the coolant wasn't actually used up. You circulated it through the system and then went through a radiant type situation. And if you needed to put it through, like we were also taking and putting them through, say, like a refrigerant type situation, so you're blowing air conditioned air through it. Sure, it generates heat, but all that water works as coolant. To me and my understanding, because I work with high temperature machines, the coolant on an automobile is internally circulated. So I can't wrap my head around how a data center uses water. Now, you may have some onboard water as coolant, but it doesn't even make sense to fucking use water. So I don't understand. To reply to Shafe, one thing I do understand is I don't think the information is actually stored necessarily at the data center. I mean, it might be to a point, but again, another thing I can't wrap my head around is where's the information in the cloud? I mean, are we talking shared computing? When, back to my experience, when we were doing the overclocking, the club that I was involved with, we would, when we weren't using our computers to just have fun and see how hard we could push them, how fast we could go and run a graphics program, we would idle them back and have them participate in what was called folding. And what would happen is it was something that you allowed your computer to do, where it shared processing power, and you donated this processing power to hospitals, universities, that sort of thing. So in my understanding, and I might be off, is these data centers are very close to what could conceivably process that. Now, they could also serve as oh damn, the term escapes me. I had it right there. Not a network. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The mainframe. Damn it. Well, fuck me. Maybe I'm full of shit. All right. I wanna keep kicking this dead horse. And what I would really like to do, I'd really like to hear Shall Not Be Infringe's take on the data center. All right. Catch y'all later. Sorry about the traffic, but all these data centers need cars to go to them, I guess.